Hi, my name is Nurmas Daliana binti Rosli, matrix number H2081542. I will present about Part A, data arrangement, graphical method, and measures of central tendency. The lecturer for this subject assignment has provided labor force data by age group in Kelantan and Pahang in 1982 until 2019 to the students. Our group selected labor force data by age group, which is in 35 until 39 and 40 until 44 in Pahang in 1983 until 2009. There are two types of tables that are used to describe the data, which is frequency distribution and relative frequency distribution for the group data. Frequency distribution for group data is produced whenever observations are sorted into classes of more than one value. To determine the number of classes is the 2 to the k more than n. So n is 50 because in this assignment we collect 50 data. So we have to find more than 50. If we let k equal to 5, which means 2 to the 5 equal to 32, somewhat less than 50. If we let k equal to 6, which means 2 to the 6 equal to 64, which is greater than 50. So the number of classes is 6. The next step is determine the class interval or width. To find the class width max entry, which is 71.5 minus max entry 29.7, then divide by number of classes, which is 6. The relative frequency is the portion or percentage of the data that falls in that class. To find the relative frequency of a class, divide the frequency by the sample size. There are two types of graph that are used to represent the data, which is histogram and frequency polygon. A histogram is a bar graph that represents the frequency distribution of a data set. In this graph, I labeled with midpoints. A frequency polygon is a line graph that emphasizes the continuous change in frequencies. A measure of central tendency is a value that represents the center of a distribution. There are three used to measures of tendency for this group data, which is mean, median, and mode. Mean, the number of samples entries, which is the class frequency multiplied by the midpoint of the class, then divide by the total frequency. Median. To get the answer to the median, you need to complete the calculation in parentheses first, then multiply by the class size, and finally add by lower class boundary of median class. Mode. The first movement is the same as the median, which is complete the calculation in parentheses first, then multiply by the class size, and finally add by lower class boundary of median class.
Hi, my name is Nurfayatu Fatihah binti Muhammad Shukri and my matric number is H20A1611. I would like to present my part, which is measure of variation. As we know, if we want to find a measure of variation, we need to have a labor force, midpoint x, x square, frequency, fx, and fx square. So, the total for frequency, which is equal to 50, and frequency x equal to 2570, and frequency x equal to 1224907.28. So the range for the measure of variation is 71.5 minus 29.7 equal to 41.8. Therefore, the range is 41.8. And after that is measure of position. In this position, we need to have class, frequency, and cumulative frequency. In this frequency is 50. This is how we solve the problem, and in quartile range, which is quartile 3 minus quartile 1, which is 491.2 3 minus 295.6 equal to 195.7. And last is shape of data distribution. We need to have a labor force and frequency. So the frequency is 50. If we want to find the data distribution, we need to have a mean, median, and mode, which is mean equal to 51.4 and median equal to 51.95. Mode equal to 52.87. And after that, we need to sketch or draw the graph based on the mean, median, and mode. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum madam and hello everyone. My name is Nurul Ayu Wahida binti Hanifah and my matric numbers is H2081668. Now I would like to continue our group presentation in part B. In part B, there is 4 questions only, but I will present only 3 of them. So the first question is find one set of data that have one independent variable and one dependent variable. So here are the set of data that represent the independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, height represent the dependent variable on the y side. Meanwhile, weight represent the independent variable on the x side. Okay, so for the next question is select random data set that is not greater than 100 but must be at least 30 data. So here are the data that have 32 data. Okay, so the third question is compute the person product moment correlation coefficient, then explain the value obtained. Okay, person product moment correlation is used to measure the strength of relationship between two variables that are quantitative in nature at this interval scale. Then it's not suitable for qualitative data including data with ordinal scale and also strictly for linear relationship. Okay, so here are the calculation of person correlation. So for the formula of person correlation, we will use this formula. Okay, so for the formula, I will explain in detail. R is a person's correlation coefficient. N is the number of observation. Sum SY is sum of the product X and Y. And next, sum X power of 2 is sum of square of value of variable X. And lastly, in the bracket, sum X of the bracket power of 2 is square of the sum of all the values of variable X. X represent to weight and Y represent to height. So X equal to 5,530, Y equal to 2,171, X squared 2 equal to 1,005,350, Y squared 2 equal to 147,737, and also xy equal to 378,388. So for the answer we got, R equal to 0.681, and the correlation explained there is a moderate positive correlation at 0.681 between weight and height.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself first. I'm Zati Bayani binti Suri and my metric number is H2081880. Okay, next, I will continue with question number 4, which is develop the estimate regression equation. Then, interpret the regression equation. So, the first thing, the formula that I use in this question is y hat equals B0 plus B1x, where B0 estimate for intercept, B1 estimate for slope of the line, x is the value of the independent variable, and y is the estimate value of the dependent variable. So, without wasting time, Now I will explain how can I calculate for this question. So look, B1 is equals to n times the sum of x times y, and I'm going to do everything step by step. Minus the sum of x times the sum of y over n times the sum of x squared minus the sum of x squared. Look at the difference between this and this. This guy here is the sum of x squared, which is actually this one, and this is the sum of x 5530 and then just square. So let's go ahead and plot everything one by one. I just need to include a value from dataset. The final value of B1 I get based on this calculation is 0.0646. Okay, next, for value of B0, there is a really short form, a little do this. The value is just sum of y minus B1, that's times sum of x, all divided by n. This is actually just a very short form and really easy to calculate. Okay, the final value of B0 I get based on this calculation is 56.6801. So here, at the end, we will have y hat equals 56.6801 plus 0.0646x. Next, based on this answer to interpret slope, for every one weight increase, the head will increase about 0.0646 inches. Next, for constants, when the number of weight is 0, the number of inches of the head is 56.6801. Okay, that's all from me and our group member. Thank you.